Let's see, what kind of wine? Let me just taste. I should know how it tastes because I finished almost the whole bottle. But let me just have a sip. Dang it. All right, let me try again. It is Jazz Gillette and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing another story time. It is not Wednesday, but it's still a great day for wine. I've got my wine here, and the wine that I'm drinking today, I've kind of blown through this. This is the RUFFINO Rosé. It's sparkling. It is a product of Italy. I will make sure that I put that down in the description bar. Okay, so it's a sparkling wine. It's not that sweet. I'm not really big on very sweet wine, but it's somewhere in between. It's rosé. For today's story time, I wanted to tell this story. I had completely forgotten about it because it's been so long. I was talking to my brother the other day, and for some reason it just came up, and I thought it was so funny. I probably would have never, he didn't even know this story, which I think is crazy, but I guess it makes sense because I was so embarrassed about it that I really didn't tell very many people about it. But now that it's happened, it's something that happened to me in high school, and I've been out of high school for pretty long, so now I'm free to tell you all this story. And this story is the time that I skipped school and got caught. A little bit of background information. I was not typically somebody who skipped school. I was pretty good about that. I didn't have a car, so there was no real reason for me to be skipping class. Or there was no real way for me to be skipping class. But eventually, like when I became a senior, I did have friends who had cars. And I was just very terrified of getting caught. So it's not something that I did often, but sorry, Mom, there was a couple of times that I skipped. One of them was to go get like Dairy Queen during lunch period. And that was my first time skipping. I was terrified that I was going to get caught. But the girl that we went with, she worked for the police station. She didn't really work for the police station. She was an explorer, which are like those high school students who get to do, not an internship, but something like that at the police station. The campus officer knew her, and she's like, don't worry, if I get caught, maybe he'll give us a little slap on the wrist and let us go back to class. Okay, so we did that. We went to Dairy Queen, we got our food, we hung out, we took pictures, and then we went back to school. We didn't get caught. It was perfect. Then the next time I did it, I was getting a little bold. My friend had a car and I had a job. I had gotten that job in the summer and I was only allowed to work on weekends, but I still had a paycheck, okay? So I would bust my butt on Saturday and Sunday and I would be there all day. So I got a good, decent paycheck. And it was payday, it was Friday, the check was there, and I was telling my friend, I was like, dang, my check is here, and I just want to go shop. And she's like, let's do it. So we left school, we went and got my paycheck, and then we went shopping, and then, I just remember, sneaking my bags into the house. And I wasn't even allowed, my parents were like, you are not allowed to ride with friends. So we kind of me and my friend timed this, so when the bus was coming, I would just boop, get out and just kind of walk as if, and I snuck my bags into the house. I actually left my bags on the porch. I left my bags on the porch and then waited till later to sneak them inside the house. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Those are the only two real times that I skipped. Now the time that I got caught, I don't even qualify this as skipping, but I got in so much trouble. All right, so here's what happened. It was senior year again, because senior year was when I started feeling bold. But it was senior year, and there was a field trip that was designed for all of the art students and the performing arts students. So all of us, if you were in band, if you were in chorus, if you were in drama, you could go on this field trip, or if you were in if you were a painter or interior design, all those students got to go on a field trip. So we went to the opera. It was fun. We had an awesome time. And then coming back, it was we were coming back last period, and the rules were you go back to your last period class. But I had some friends who were in art, and art had a sub. My friends were like, why are you going to go back to class? I had a science class, and I I was so fortunate that I had a lot of really, really quality teachers who cared. And I don't mean like they just cared about me coming to their class or they just cared about me making good grades in their class, but they genuinely cared about my well-being and me as a student, which it was awesome, but it just kind of sucked because you want to be bad, but they're on your tail. Like they are watching you and they're like, all right, we're gonna make sure she does what she's supposed to do. So anyways, so after the opera, I go to the art, and we just hang there with my friend, and we're texting, we're kikiing it. The sub doesn't really know what to do, and the actual art teacher didn't leave a lesson plan, so everybody's just kind of hanging out and talking and kicking it. And I was just in there. And the mistake that my dumb butt made, I was so silly. Students who had extracurricular activities. So after school, either I had to go to like Novanet for whatever class that I was struggling in. I think it was science or math. And then on certain days, I had rehearsals for musicals or plays or whatever. So I couldn't leave school. I mean, I could leave. I should have just gotten on the bus and went home afterwards. But nope, I'm just walking down, da 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 da, just walking down, and then it's like right after, and then my last period teacher, not even my she was like she was the assistant teacher in the classroom. She sees me walking, and she's like clearly, clear across campus. And our school was huge, and I feel like she just knew. She knew I was trying to do something. And so she sees me like clear across campus, and she sees me clear like far across campus, and our school was huge. So she sees me, and I just know she's just like, I could just hear her, Jasmine, hey, Jasmine, come here. And I'm like, dang. So I, walk towards her, and she's like, where were you? Where were you last period? And I was like, I went to the opera. And she's like, I know you went to the opera, but last period you were supposed to be back for science. Where were you? And I was like, and she's like, okay. So she did not call my parents. Like, she didn't call my mom. What she did was she went to my chorus teacher, because we went on the field trip with my chorus teacher. And dang it. And that was one of those things that's like, if you're a performing arts student, like, your chorus teacher, your drama teacher, all of these teachers, like, they really care about you and they care about your grades. Because a lot of us, like, we thought because we were, musically inclined, or because we were in plays, we thought we are too cool for school type attitude. And we're like, well, it's fine, because like we're trying to be performers anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But anyway, so she told him, and it was Friday, so I thought I was fine. I wasn't. So he called my mom on Monday, but the way I got caught, like, he had gone around, like, okay, so here's what happened. All right, so I'm like, it was Monday, and I'm like hanging out, walking to a class. And I told you guys, like, my campus, the school we were at, was huge, and our performing arts center was so far. It wasn't even anywhere near like the main campus. Like, you had to travel. It probably, like, I think they gave us 10 minutes to get to classes because the Performing Arts Center was so far. But literally, the drama teachers, the art teachers, those teachers don't usually come out of the Performing Arts Center. They usually would just stay there and have classes and everything. They have their lunch and everything there. So if you saw the Performing Arts teacher on main campus, you knew that it was something serious. Chilling, I'm walking into class. I was walking into like my lit class with my friends. And as I'm walking into this class, he's walking out of it. And he doesn't like say my name, like, or anything. He just walks, and then he looks at me, and he's like points to the door. And I was like, oh snap, I know what this is about. Because I thought I was cool. I thought I didn't get caught. I thought she was just gonna like let it be. But no, she told him. But I had forgotten about it because I had a good weekend. My mom had no idea. And I'm like, I guess whatever. I was like, and when I got home that day, when that happened, I got home and I was scared because I was like, shoot. But my mom didn't say anything, I guess because like the news hadn't traveled appropriately at that time. And like, so I just kind of like stand in the hallway, and he's like, hey, I heard about you skipping class. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so let me tell you what I've done. I went around to every single one of your teachers and let them know that if they do not see you in class, they need to text or email me. I literally had just, like I said, I was not like a skipper, but I had just started getting to the point where I thought I could I was like, okay, I've gotten away with this a few times and it's so much better than just going to class. So I was like, okay, this may be maybe a couple times a week, once a week or so, I'll, figure out how to fall out and not go. But he's like, yeah, and I went around, I told them to text me or email me if you are not in class. And he's like, I'm gonna check and I'm gonna see if you were absent for the day or if you just did not show up to that class. And he's like, I'm not going to let you go down the path of some of your talented classmates who did not know if they were going to graduate or not because they missed too many days of school. And so they made this whole rule that was if you were in a play or if you're in a musical or anything like that and you missed class without a note, then you were not allowed to go to rehearsal. Damn. Sorry guys, if you went to this high school that I went to, it was probably because of me and a couple of other people that rule came about. So anyways, then he was like, okay. And also, I called your mom. She's aware and she was very, very upset. I'm just giving you a heads up. And I was like, dang. So he called my mom and then also he's like, and I'm giving you 9 detentions. Each segment is 10 minutes. So he's like, you have 9, 1 for every minute you missed in class. You are going to have to serve these lunch detentions. And I was like, oh man, I was so embarrassed and, I was just I was just silent. And he's like, okay, now get back to class. And so I got into class and my friends were like, what happened, girl? Why is Mr. Here? And I was like, oh guys, it's because I got caught skipping. And they're like, oh my God. And I was like, I know. So needless to say, my teacher kind of gave me the glare once I sat down and she's like, all the teachers now were kind of like, we know your weakness. You can't play. And they were like, it was even if you do bad in class, we're going to tell your chorus teacher. Because they know, they found what would get me in trouble. They knew what now was my thing. It's if I don't do this, they're going to let them know who's going to let, because every kid has their thing. For me, I loved music class. I loved all that stuff. So if they go tell him and I get in trouble, then it's not good for me. Then my life is not fun. So the teachers had that on me. And, so I actually served 2 detentions and then afterwards he was like, I looked and I saw that you served these detentions and you were just such a sweet child and I'm not going to make you serve the rest of them, but I just want you to know I'm not playing and you can't be skipping. So that happened. I got in trouble at home. My mom was like, I am so disappointed in you. And for me, it's when you say that to me, I'm like, oh my God, no, I don't want to disappoint. I really don't want to disappoint. So, I don't think I got in trouble. She was really upset, but I didn't get in trouble at home. I think the fear of God was put into me. And that was the first time that I got caught skipping. And that was the last time that I skipped. And now you know the story of how I got 9 detentions and how I got caught skipping school. That's all I got for you today. I hope everybody has a fabulous day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can share, comment, subscribe. Subscribing and liking these videos really helps me because I'm new to YouTube and I'm trying to figure out what content that not only my followers but people who randomly see this video like. So make sure you just, give me a little hint. All right, I love you so much for watching. Rock and roll.